Recently I installed a Honda Shadow Spirit 21-inch front wheel and white wall tire on my 2008 Honda Shadow Aero 750. Honestly, I think it looks pretty good. The downside though, now my front fender doesn't clear. And while there are a lot of aftermarket parts out there for the Honda Shadow 750, there really isn't anything to raise the front fender. But what I did find was these guys right here, which are made for a Harley Softail or Road Glide or something, I don't even remember. And these were 11 bucks. So I'm thinking we can drill some extra holes in these things if we need to, and I think we can make them work. So pardon my workspace because I need to reorganize for sure, but what I was thinking, if I take these brackets, if I line them up over my blue collar bobber's front fender, I was thinking I could drill these out a little bit and make them work. And then I realized that's stupid, because why would I drill 4 holes? I was looking for the bolts that I put somewhere, either way. Why would I do that when I could just scoot this over and it looks like there's plenty of metal to drill another hole? Even the same on the bottom, that's going to be closest to the wheel, there should be enough metal that I should be able to drill right through it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the bolts that came with this thing, with the little brackets, and these are nylocks. I'm not going to torque them down. So there isn't really a front or rear to the blue collar bobber's fender. I don't think there is anyway. Kind of looks the same to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend this side's the front. So I'm going to go ahead and drill my top hole first, and then the bottom one. What we're going to do is we're going to put this under the fender and make life 10 times easier for ourselves. That guy on there just like so, and we're going to do the same thing. Try to. Except this time we're going to try to eyeball these holes up and line them up. Line up the fender bracket holes with the riser bracket, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take a Sharpie. We're going to mark that hole just like so, so we know how to line up. Now, I wish I had a drill press, because this would make this 10 times easier, but I do have this little tiny C-clamp right here. So what I'm going to do, is what I'm thinking, this is all trial and error, is we're going to line this up as best we can. We're going to try to clamp her down to where she doesn't move, and we're going to try to do this without needing a third set of hands. Now, leaving this loose for a second, I want to try to line up my marker hole, which is right there. Tighten the C-clamp to where she does not move. I'm going to take our pilot bit, which I think this guy right here, I'm using a 5/64 apparently. So we're just going to eyeball dead center. If I had a punch, I'd use a punch, but I do not. Going to drill that pilot hole. She's walking a little bit, so we're going to take it nice and slow. Be careful. This doesn't have to be perfect. Be nicer if it was. This is also one of my projects, so something's bound to go wrong eventually. Now I should probably be wearing gloves when I do this, because I'm a single guy, and if something happens to my hands, it's going to be the end of my love life. Alright, so now we're going to take our second drill bit. This guy is a 5/16. We're just going to drill out this hole. Now we're going to grab another bolt. I think I say now way too much. If I remember right, I don't think... Oh, it will. Never mind. 5/16 will work. Alright, never mind. I was thinking that wasn't going to be enough. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this apart, do the same thing, mark the same hole right there, and do the same kind of drilling. Pilot bit, rock and roll. Here we go. Five 5/16. Final hole. Grab a bolt, double check. Looks like we're in business. Alright, let's screw this guy loose. 1 or 2 marks, I think that'll buff out. Take out our nylock, and I think that'll work. That should line up just kind of like so. Probably clean these edges up a little off camera. But I do believe, put one bolt there, one bolt there, and maybe one bolt there on our second holes. Perfect. Because what we'll do is this is going to attach to the bracket, just like that, and then these guys are going to attach to the bike. Alright, so now we're going to do the other bracket. The cool thing is, since I already drilled one, if these holes are off, I want them to be off equally. So this is going to be one of these do not try this at home moments. So I'm going to try to do this freehand. Just going to try to line these. Just going to try to line these guys up like so. That's pretty close. I think that'll do it. I'm not even going to bother to mark these. I'm just going to grab my pilot bit. And actually, if I'd thought about it, I could have done it that way. Drilled into my cardboard work surface here, but that's okay. All right, you know what? Actually, I'm going to get gloves for this. All right, here we go. Make sure I'm not going to hit my finger. That'd be a bad day. Screw you, thing. If you had a vise, it'd probably make your life easy, but I don't, and I'm an idiot, so. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to clamp it to this stupid thing and change up how we do this, so we don't injure ourselves and then have to go to the emergency room and explain to them that we are stupid. Put that over there, over the side. Because we have our pilot bit, I'm not even worried about, well, we have our pilot hole, excuse me, so I'm not even worried about like trying to hover this over or anything. We know where it needs to go. So we're going to clamp her down. This will be our makeshift bench. All right. Wish me luck. All right, that was 10 times easier. Now, let's see how far off we are with these things. Grab our bolts, our brand new top holes, put those together. Our brand new bottom holes, let's put those together. And we might be slightly off, but for the most part, we're pretty much lined up, and I dig that. All right, let's go ahead and mount these on the fender. All right, for that, we're going to need a 13mm wrench and a 6mm Allen. Let's go ahead and dump out all our hardware. We don't need that anymore. Get some of these shavings out of the way. I don't need this bag anymore. All those right there. Don't let me forget where I put them. All right, so we're going to pretend this is the front of the fender. So I'm going to take a bolt, a washer, going to line that up with our first hole. Use a nylock, tighten, going the wrong way. Hand tighten that, just to hold it in place. I know this is dirty, don't judge me. Say my bike was clean, nobody would ever think I rode it. Put that guy there. Get the nylock started if I can. And honestly, I don't think that's going to look that bad. Torque that down like so. At the other side. Do not have a set of ratcheting wrenches. I highly recommend them. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to make sure we get this pointed in the right direction so I don't goof it up and have to do it twice like everything else. Bust my knuckles a little bit because I should still be wearing the gloves. Alright, there she is. Is she the prettiest thing in the world? No, not really. I might need to flip these to the outside to get them on the bike, but we'll find out here in a minute. Okay, so I did end up flipping these brackets around because I don't know what I was thinking. And I still had to modify these things a little bit because I didn't take into account that the 21-inch Spirit wheel has a larger diameter than the factory Aero wheel. So naturally, the curvature of the fender is different. So with the holes I had drilled installing the fender, I was rubbing right here on the back. So what I ended up doing was keeping this rear bolt tight, taking this bolt out, and then just kind of adjusting the fender to where I had about a finger clearance on each side. Re-drilled some holes, ran the bolt back through, and now we're good to go. Then we have a little bit more gap in the center of the fender than we do the front and the rear. And this kind of looks, looks okay. But honestly, I don't think anybody's going to notice, mainly because the rest of the bike still looks like this. So I think this 21-inch front wheel is going to work out fantastic. I think it looks great. And if you guys missed the installation of this, you can check this video out right here. And as always, y'all be good. See ya.